I'm always amazed here on the show when we have guests in studio or through the miracle of Zoom who can talk to us about how people need to listen up and use technology in their businesses in ways maybe they've never even thought of before. For example, if it wasn't for technology, aka Zoom, I wouldn't even have met this guest today. So I understand the importance of it. And after you talk to Larry, you might understand the importance of how technology can help you in whatever business you're into. The guest name today is Larry Talley, his company, Everyware, right here on the show. Larry, how are you, sir? So good to see you. How are you?
Nice to see you too, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you, Zoom. See, look at us, Larry. We're pretty techno ourselves, aren't we? Being able to chat with each other. You're in the Austin, Texas area, though the business you're in, I'm guessing you have customers all over the place. Is that fair?
That's it. That's why they call us Everywhere.
I think it's a great name, and I love the spelling, the W-A-R-E as well. So give me a little background, Larry, before we get into Everywhere. What is your professional background? What have you been doing to get you to where you are today?
Yeah, no, great question. So myself, I've been developing software for really about 20 years. Originally developed software in the military, and then went on later in life to build my own company and develop software for hotels and resorts. And about 5 years ago, I saw that shift in, in communication that was happening, and launched the company Everywhere. So Everywhere was really born out of an idea that I came up with as I was developing software for hotels and resorts.
Well, and Everywhere, there's a lot of stuff with Everywhere, but specifically, I want to go this direction right now. A big part of what you do is with regards to contactless payments. And we all hear about contactless these days, obviously with everything going on with the pandemic, but you were ahead of the game. You were putting this contactless payment system around before we've even heard of COVID. Go into that just a little bit about why you decided to skew that direction before we all even needed it.
Yeah, I always felt like that, payments and mobile basically combined with messaging was something that just made life just that much more convenient, just getting away from paper, being able to get a hold of someone and being able to make a payment, and better yet, being able to make that payment on your own time. And, with the pandemic, it's really accelerated, our technology, being contactless and touchless, definitely, it's really helped. And being able to support, tons of different businesses from healthcare to nonprofits to pharmacies, being able to be that payments platform, based on where we are at this moment in time, it's pretty exciting. It's unfortunate, obviously, for, a lot of the businesses, but being able to have a tool that can go to market fast with, that doesn't require tons of setup or people, really within a matter of seconds, you can be up and running on our platform.
Larry, talk to me about, and there's a bunch of them, but just give me some of the bullet points about how the technology and the infrastructure that you put together can help people boost their revenue, all the different ways they can do that just by simply using your products.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you think about getting a text message that will remind you of picking up your medication from your local pharmacy. Not only will it remind you to pick up your medication, but you can pay now for it. And better yet, we don't even have to even accept a credit card all the time. You can simply reply yes, and your credit card can automatically be charged to your phone number. So we really simplified the whole payment, experience, tied to a mobile phone. And not only for, pharmacies, you think about, for the nonprofits, you think of churches, they really had a tough time during the pandemic being able to have, a congregation, right? Congregate, but we're all used to going to church. But being able to support programs like texting the word give and being able to capture money, that fast for churches. And so, we felt really good about launching our platform and, being able to support, all these different verticals, not just, being a one-trick pony for one particular vertical, really focusing on really more of a horizontal player across the board. So today you'll find us not only in churches and healthcare providers, but you'll also find us in restaurants where we've been really useful for restaurants. Think about curbside delivery, all the communication that goes along with, making an online order. So being able to be that, text to pay platform to support restaurants, and again, do something that's really affordable. With our platform, for the most part, a lot of businesses actually get it for free because they use their processing fees that, they've been paying for a very long time that covers the cost for our entire platform. So it's a win-win, for businesses today to use us.
It's absolutely a win-win, and of course win-win is one of those expressions that's been around a while, but another expression that's been around a while is time is money. And the fact that you're able to expedite payment to people, frankly, if it's just reminding me as a consumer to pay my bills, the faster that the business can get that money in their hands, the faster that money can start going to work for them. So is it fair to say that that in its essence is one of the big things that you bring to the table to help businesses, in that you make it simple and quick for people to pay, the businesses get their money faster? That's one of your number one things. Is that a fair assessment?
That is. We like to say, connect and collect. And, what better way to do that? You really hit the bullseye every time with a text message. And better yet, when it comes from a real phone number tied to the local business that you just transacted with, like you just said, you might have visited your doctor's office yesterday, and typically that might take 7 days for them to get a piece of letter in the mail, just to let you know that you owe money. And like most of us, we get, mail all the time, and we basically pile it up and wait, for the end of the month, to make those payments. But making it really convenient, where you left that doctor's office, you get a text notification that you owe $15, click here, pay now. Like you said, it just generates that much more cash flow for that business. So, obviously during the time of the pandemic, it's really, really helping these businesses get paid much faster than they had been getting paid before.
Text and collect. I'm gonna log that one away in my noggin here. That's a good one, Larry. Text and collect. All right, let me talk about something we've got to talk about, because when it comes to technology, there's good guys out there just like you doing good things for companies, but unfortunately, there's bad guys as well that are out there. So reassure us what you're doing from a security standpoint to make sure any information that you have out there to help us make payments, that stuff is secure, because I'm sure you understand why that is a big concern for a lot of us as consumers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why it's important that, when we assign out, an actual number to a merchant account for a business to start collecting, that mobile number is actually tied to that business. So that way, if you were to call it, it would actually ring right to that business. So it wouldn't be like a typical short code. And we've all experienced, getting a short code text message. It's like a notification. But in this case, with Everywhere, you get a real phone number. It's tied to your local business. And it's also two-way. So you can text back anything you like. So it's not only sending out, a text message to collect, but it's also for two-way engagement, which is really powerful, because not all the times I can make a full payment, but hey, can I make a partial payment? So being able to have that two-way text conversation, with that local business, being able to call that number, get a live human on the phone, really helps with all the security and fraud that's out there today. In our platform, everything that we do, we basically do things to help reduce the amount of fraud in the marketplace today. If you think about a cell phone, the numbers that we've had, they've been in business for a very long time. We might have 10 different email accounts, but for the most part, all of us just have one cell phone number. So with our platform, we actually do reverse lookups behind the scene. We can see how long a phone's been in business for, who it's tied to, what carrier they currently use. So again, just helping really reduce the amount of fraud that's associated with, credit card transactions. No different than, if a bank, you forget your password today, a bank will, they'll text you a code, right? So being able not only to help businesses connect and collect, but also be in a way to help, reduce those fraudulent, transactions from happening.
So Larry, let me tell you something. I've been a consumer a lot longer than I've been a talk show host, and obviously we're all consumers today, regardless of what we do. Is there a tip that you can give us as consumers when we receive a text requesting payment for something, to give us a peace of mind to where we can legitimize in ourselves that it's a legit number? Is there just a quick something we can do to make sure it's legit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the first things, obviously when you get a text message like that, really what comes to mind is, do I do business with this, with this business? So, have I transacted with them before? So with Everyware, not only do we like to, just send that, again, not just sending a first text, message out there to collect, but being able to send them a welcome text to let them know, like, hey, you've opted in to receive this notification to accept payment method this way. I think that's what's important too, is to let the businesses and the consumers interact ahead of time before you just start reaching out and trying to collect from them.
That's a great piece of advice, because we're all getting inundated these days, and you just make sure that it's legit, folks, you're going to feel better. And you better hope that Everywhere is behind it, because these guys are the top at what they do. Larry, I'm out of time, man. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for keeping us safe, and thanks for helping businesses get money in their pockets a lot faster. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.